Hey guys, it's Mombi. So, I've been putting off doing the woodwork in the cottage because, as you know, it's made of cardboard. And cardboard sometimes warps in places that it would not. So, here, let me show you. If I was to use real wood for the beams, look at those gaps. There'd be a huge gap against the ceiling because the floor is not completely straight. There's some warpage there. So I guess my workaround is going to be dollar store foam board. Why do I buy the dollar store stuff? Well, for one, price is right. But for two, you can peel the paper from both sides of the foam board. I took each side off in one big piece. And some of the more expensive foam board, because it's better quality, you're unable to do that. And you're sitting there trying to peel little tiny pieces of paper away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I don't know if you've seen, I have a video on how I texture foam board. So I'm going to put, that doesn't look the best, but I'm going to put a wood texture in all these little foam strips that I have cut. And I'm going to use those because these, oops, hard to do everything one-handed. These are thin enough that I can bend them however I need, and they'll fit tight against the ceiling. They won't look exactly like the wood, of course, because, you know, they're not wood. But I'm hoping that if I use the same paint colors, and instead of sanding, if I use this linen paint color like I have on the walls for some dry brushing, that hopefully I can get it looking close enough that it will satisfy my my OCD. We shall see. So that's all I'm doing right now. I'm just going in and I'm cutting all the little pieces so that I can paint the ends of them instead of cutting long strips, painting long strips, and then having to go back and paint all the little edges. So this will take a little while. I will have to do, once I finally get a roof on the place, I will have to do more because I need beams along the roof as well. So I don't know if maybe I will cut the piece that I'm going to use for the roof, at least the cardboard, so I will know what sizes. I don't know, but it's really easy to go back through and cut more strips anytime I need. So that's where I'm at, and I will check back in. Yes, my sink is upstairs out of the way. So that's the plan. We'll see how it works. Okay, the foam is working quite well. It's a little bit darker than the rest of the wood, but that's cool. I'm all right with that. I've got more pieces that are waiting to get put up. They're just drying with some, brown paint on them, and then I'll dry brush them and throw them on the walls. Okay, I've got the wall beams up. I thought about doing more. I mean, because technically it's Tudor style, and they have quite a few of the timbers on the wall, and different patterns and whatnot that they packed in, that they put the wattle and daub inside of, like a frame. But it's such a small area. I don't know that I'm going to. I think this might be it as far as the beams go on the interior. Oh, and I forgot. I'm working on a bucket. It's just skinny sticks and chipboard bottom. The bands on here are cereal box that I painted to look like metal. I haven't put any rivets or anything on there yet. The inside I filled with hot glue, and then you'll notice the white in there, that's just glossy Mod Podge drying because I put like a green and a brown alcohol marker on top of the hot glue, and then some glossy Mod Podge so it'll look kind of like, grungy water. And then for the handles, I just took and put little tiny holes with my pin drill that would fit these pins, just sewing pins. I put it through the knot, and then I've got super glue that's on the inside here that is drying so that the handle itself will still move. Except I can't do it one-handed, so that when it's under the sink, the handle can be folded down. And then once the super glue is all dry and the Mod Podge is all dry, I'll just snip the ends of these pins off on the inside and maybe put a dot of super glue or, file them down. I don't want them to be sharp or pokey in there, but can't imagine I'm going to be reaching inside the bucket very often. But then there's that. So that will go under his sink like that. As I either stab myself with a pin or stick my finger in Mod Podge. But that's where I'm at. I'll be back after the roof is dry. Alright, time for a progress report. I've gone ahead and used the foam board and made lots of beams. And I covered a lot of the raw edges. In the front, I've put just one of these little these little cheapies that you get on, I think I got this one on either Temu or AliExpress, I don't know. I cut the stovepipe off the top and dry brushed a little bit of metallic on there and glued some real twigs in there, just for now until I figure out a fireplace situation. Lock the door. There we go. I still need to do a frame around this door. Some more exterior beams on these walls, but I have to wait until I get the frame around the door so I know exactly where I'm going. I did a little bit of decorative beams on the exterior on this side. I need to do a frame around this door still, but I took a little random piece of wood and I'm going to make like a little porch or, something where he can put some gardening tools or maybe a little chair and his boots or, whatever he decides he wants on his little porch. I want to do an awning over top of this door, and then I can do more of these beams in this area. Again, I don't want to do this until I get the frame around the door done, just so I know what I'm working with. And I've just done a few extras on the top or on that little tiny, that window looks so puny, little tiny window. And I'm debating on whether or not I want to take and do like a little an overhang on here and maybe to store firewood or something, or like, again, gardening implements. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do, if anything, there. I still want to do, I have lots of ideas, but no decisions have been made. But as far as the beams, I think the foam worked pretty well, actually. I haven't dry brushed a lot of them. My hands were just covered in paint a moment ago because I literally had to take and cut each piece and then do, paint the edges and then put it up and then paint the... It was like a 10-step process just to get, one stupid beam up there, just so that I was able to measure it correctly because I had to piece everything in. But yep, that is where we are. And I will see you next time around.